A very good afternoon to everyone. I, Riti Kulshrestha, on behalf of BIMTech Greater Noida, welcome all professors, research associates, and research scholars on Day 2 special lecture series. The first lecture in the series today is on incorporating literature, arts, and culture in business schools curriculum and Indian perspective. And we are fortunate to have Dr. Anup Singh, Director General, Nirma University, to take this session with us. Goethe, the famous German poet, says, and I quote, "One ought every day at least to hear a little song, read a good poem, see a fine picture, and if it were possible, to speak a few reasonable words." Unquote. The session today involves deliberations on too much dependence of the MBA curriculum on quantitative subjects, overlooking liberal arts. There has been a beginning in some progressive schools in the West towards the adoption of literature, arts, and culture so that business graduates shape up into a well rounded personality. It is now becoming increasingly imperative for Indian business schools to foster such capable leaders and managers who can manage not only themselves but others too in all kinds of tough, unpredictable, and critical situations. It is a privilege to have Dr. Anup Singh, Director General, Nirma University, for sharing his insights with us on the topic today. To briefly introduce the professor, an eminent academician and thought leader, he did his PhD from the University of Allahabad and postdoctoral fellowship from the University of Michigan. He was a visiting scholar at the Kellogg Graduate School of Business Administration, Northwestern University, Evanston. Among his various other academic portfolios with NDI Gurgaon and IMI New Delhi, he has also been director Jaipuria Institute of Management, Noida. He has many publications to his credit, including 7 books and more than 100 articles. He has also been the editor of Vision, the Journal of Business Perspective. He is a recipient of various awards for teaching excellence. He has offered consultancy to several national and international organizations, including Bharat Electronics, British Council, Samsung, and NTPC Limited. He was the driving force behind the development of National Human Resource Development Policy for the Royal Government of Bhutan. His research interests include leadership, ethics, student engagement, and institution building. In short, he is an institution by himself. I warmly welcome Dr. Anup Singh to kindly take over the session, please. And I request everyone to please put on their mobiles on silent and mute the mic during the session. I also request all faculty members to kindly drop their questions in the chat box and we can take them over with the permission of sir at the end of the session. Over to you, Professor, please. Thank you.
Thank you, Riti ji. Good afternoon, Professor Chaturvedi and respected colleagues and dear faculty members. So I have around 40 minutes with me. I will talk to you for 30 minutes and another 10 minutes we can devote for interaction. So to begin with, जिसको मैं ओढ़ता बिछाता हूँ वो कथा आपको सुनाता हूँ. So the topic which I have got, does not have many research papers, and therefore I'm going to speak from my experiences, right? Some of my colleagues tell me that management is a subject, and so when I looked into MBA curriculum, I could not find a subject like management. So there are subjects like production management, organizational behavior, personal, then quantitative techniques, research method. So I was wondering that where is management in this management, right? So I could not find any subject on management, but all subjects. So after 30 years of my experience, I could realize that management is not a subject, management is a practice. Just like medicine is not a subject, medicine is a practice done by a doctor, and to practice that, the doctor has various subjects like pathology, anatomy, pharmacology, so on and so forth. So we are basically in the field of management practice, And to improve management practice, we have got various subjects like production management, statistics, so on and so forth. So management is a multidisciplinary field. We need to realize that. And therefore, we have got areas, and within each field, we can teach in different ways. So the field in which I have been working is basically organizational behavior and human resources. And over there, I have found that people have been using a variety of methods, and that is important. That the same subject, the same topics, the same ideas can be delivered through different methods. And these methods are A, case study, B, simulation, C, role play, D, syndicate discussion, so on and so forth. And one method which is not much used is a tale method, story method, right? So about 25 years ago, I wrote a book, Managerial Wisdom Through Tales, because we are too much concerned about data, and many of us remain at the data, and only few of us move to information. And out of that, only few are able to move from information to knowledge, and probably very few are able to move from knowledge to wisdom, right? So when we were reading a book, Management Education at Crossroads by the Dean of Harvard Business School. So he talked about practical wisdom, that business school should be able to teach practical wisdom and not knowledge. So how does practical wisdom come, right? So I realized that we had in Eastern context, and when I'm saying Eastern context, I mean whole of Asia, we had a very powerful tradition of stories, right? And therefore, we had a great book like Panch Tantra, which was basically, written by Professor Vishnu Sharma, right? To teach the princes, right? Because these princes said that the curriculum is very boring, right? So we don't want to learn about principles. So he said, don't worry about principles. I'm going to tell you stories of the animals. And then, telling the story of animals, he could teach the princes, right? So in India, we have a very strong tradition of using stories for teaching management and administration. And the best example is Panchtantra. Another very interesting example is some of you might have heard of, not many of you. There was a book known as Singhasan Batisi, right? So Singhasan Batisi was about the king Vikramaditya, right? So he was gone, and then a new person came, and there was a chair, right? So he wanted to sit on chair, and then out of that, one portion of that chair came out. He said that, look, you have to answer a managerial question which I have got. If you are able to answer that, then you have right to sit on this chair. So there were a total, 32 strings, and then each of them asked a question. And these questions were not, funny questions. These were the fundamental questions, right? So I'm going to ask you a question, right, to my young faculty members. The question is like that there was a wise man, since we are talking about wisdom. And people would go to him and they would ask him all kind of questions. And he will, go through a book. And then he would come out with a very good answer. And people would say, इस बुढ़े के पास जो है बहुत अच्छी किताब है, उसमें सब कुछ लिखा है, right? So like that. And then people wanted to steal that book But that old man was also very careful, and he would keep the book, in full safety, and nobody could steal. So then there was one gentleman, he said, आज नहीं तो कल बुढ़ा मरेगा ही. जब मरेगा तब इसकी किताब में देखेंगे कि भाई इसमें क्या है, right? So like that, for many years the business continued. There were very deep questions, and then he would go to the book, turn the pages, find wonderful answer. So eventually, the old man died, and this young man who was trying to steal the book, he could get access to the book. So my question to you is, you can type it or you can talk about it. What was in that book? Anybody? Any young faculty? Let me see the chat. Yeah.
Blank. 2 persons have replied. 3. Blank. 4.
So there is already wisdom. There is already wisdom. उस किताब में कुछ नहीं था. But what is the moral of the story? The moral of the story is that धूप में निकलो, बरसात में नहा कर देखो. धूप में निकलो, बरसात में नहा कर देखो, जिंदगी क्या है किताबों को हटा कर देखो, है ना? So we are so much concerned about books that we think that the wisdom is in the books. And the problem of knowledge is that knowledge becomes wisdom only when we are able to personalize it, only when we are able to relate to it, right? So that's what I do in my teaching of organizational behavior, that I use stories, right? And I use stories in different ways, right? For example, I can use a story as an icebreaker, particularly, after lunch. If I have any session after lunch, then, starting the session becomes very difficult, right? So how to engage students? So first 5 minutes are very important, and if you are able to share a good story, then we are able to engage them. The second way, I use a story that I use a story as an illustration, right? It so happened, some of you, might have heard of Ranchi, and there is a place in Ranchi known as Kanke, and that's where Ranchi has come. I don't know why they decided to go to Kanke, but anyway, they have gone to Kanke, right? So, so over there, one person went and then he wanted to see yahan kya hota hai. So he went inside a ward, and there was a gentleman, and he was crying, "Hi Lakshmi, hoy Lakshmi, ab kya hoga Lakshmi, zindagi barbad ho gayi Lakshmi." So he was curious, yaar, who is this Lakshmi? Uski zindagi kyun barbad ho gayi, right? So he asked the warden, "What happened, brother? Why he's so concerned about Lakshmi?" Brother, don't ask. It's a very tragic story. Very tragic story. This guy was in love with Lakshmi, and somehow, he could not marry Lakshmi. And then, of course, his life was, destroyed. And then he went to another bar, and there was another guy. He was singing the same song, "Hi Lakshmi, hoy Lakshmi, zindagi barbad ho gayi Lakshmi," right? So he asked, "Brother, isne kitne logon ko barbad kiya hai? Who is this Lakshmi?" Kahe, "Boss, don't ask. This story is even, sadder." Kahe, "What happened?" Kahe, "This guy was in love with Lakshmi and he married Lakshmi," right? So it so happens that life is full of contradiction, and in organizational behavior, when we give very straight answers, I always wonder, because personality is full of contradiction, social situations are full of contradictions, there are conflicting views, there are imperfections. So how do we give an approach to the students? And my approach has been that I will tell them that, look, there is no answer, there are contradiction, and you have to think on your feet, right? And if you can think on your feet, then you can progress, and then you can find your answer. And that's where when Buddha was dying, he came out with a phrase, Apadipa Bhava, be light unto yourself. And that has to be motto of all OB students, right? After completing their OB course, they have to be self-reflective. I have also done that sometimes, I will just take one story and the whole session is about that story. For example, I will tell them a story. It so happened that after Second World War, in England, there were many women and few men, because most of them were killed in the war, right? So there was a young lady, and she was not married for quite some time. She didn't have a boyfriend, right? Some of you might have heard of this story. And then she was not feeling good about it. So she talked to her friend, and then she said, "Don't worry, I will solve your problem. I will give you a mask that makes you more attractive, and then you see what happens to men. They would be all around you." So she took the mask, and then she went to a club in the evening, and lo and behold, there were many men interested in her, and she could talk to one person uh, in the evening, and then she felt bad. I'm cheating. I'm wrong. This is not done. So, after 2 hours, she took that person in the corner and he said that, "Look, gentlemen, I'm not what I look, right? In fact, I'm a different person." So he asked her, "What do you mean?" So she removed her mask. Okay, this is me. And then my next question would be that, look, if you are this person, what would you do? So there would be very interesting responses. Some of my students will say, "मैं तो वहां से भाग जाऊंगा, है ना, इसने तो मेरे को cheat किया," right? And some of them will say that, "Look, I would be patient. I would appreciate that at least she has told me the truth." Some of them would say that initially I would be angry, but it's not that bad, right? And then I will do the whole session on interpersonal relationship around this story. And towards the end, somebody will say that, "Look, I would also remove my mask." So all of us have masks, particularly in pandemic, we formally have masks, right? So that's important, that how we can use, stories. And then, I had a collection of more than 1,000 stories, and I took them from different sources. So one source was of Indian stories I shared with you. Arabian Nights is another source. Then Singhasan Batisi, right? Hatim Tai is another very interesting. And what I do, I also modify stories as per the needs, because sometimes the meaning may be very deep, but you have to modify the context of the story to suit the need of the occasion, right? And then I also take help of Zen stories. Zen stories are very, very powerful. They are small stories. So, if you look into Japanese stories, Zen stories, that is another good source. Then Greek myths are also very important. For example, I take the story of Icarus, right? So, Icarus wanted to be a great person, right? And then he said, I will fly and I will go and I will touch the sun, right? And he engaged somebody, who would put fur on him. And he started moving and flying towards the sun. And then because of the heat of sun, the wax which the artist used, that was diluted, and eventually all furs, they went down, and Icarus, he failed. So I use this story of Icarus. The story is much bigger. I have just summarized it in a few sentences. uh, but the message is that how do you manage success? Because success is the biggest reason behind failure. When we are not able to manage success, then we get derailed, and some of us also go to jail, right? So, failing, derailing, and jailing, they go hand in hand. So, therefore, one has to be very, very careful in understanding that what are the nuances and what are the problems of success, right? So, it all depends. For example, I teach a course on power and politics, right? Many people, say, Nani, this is something which should not be taught. है ना? हम लोगों को तो अच्छी अच्छी बातें बनाना चाहिए. But then I had a challenge that in a system, when all the placements are done, then I was given a course पे आपको कुछ पढ़ाना होगा. So this was the course that I taught, and then I told them that, how do human beings really behave, right? How human beings are imperfect. How does our brain work? So I start, with lot of stories, right? And a lot of these stories come from Mahabharata. So you need not, but without making it religious, because जैसे ही लोग महाभारत या रामायण की बात करते हैं, वो उसको धार्मिक बना देते हैं. बट अगर आप महाभारत में देखें, वो शुरू से लेके आखिर तक, है ना, वो शुरू से लेके आखिर तक वो पॉलिटिक्स है और पावर है, right? So one can use those stories. So there are thousand sources of stories, and I would fail if I don't talk about Mullah Nasruddin stories, right? So one story of Mullah Nasruddin that I like, that Mullah was going to a village, and then there was a fight between two parties, and he started watching. So plaintiff came to him and said that he said that, look, I can help you. So he said that, look, the other party is wrong. The other party came and they presented their view, the defendant, and he told to the first party, yes, you have a point, you are right. And then defendant came and they also presented their view and see, yeah, you are also right. So there was an observer who said that how it can be possible, sir, that both plaintiff and defendant, they are right. And he said, you are also right, right? So in human affairs, it is very much possible that all people have their weaknesses and all of them have multiple viewpoints, right? So in liberal arts, it becomes very important to understand that reality has multiple dimensions, and there are multiple perspectives to it, and there is no pur sat. All of us live with half truth, and our responsibility is how to manage these half truths, right? And so you can also sometimes take a novel and you can convert that into a story. I was just sharing that, O. Henry, right, had written some wonderful stories, right? And one story of O. Henry is that, look, there was a couple, husband and wife, right? And they would fight like cats and dogs, right? And one day, the wife says that, look, I'm leaving you and I'm going home to my mother's house, right? Ah, and then he said, no, no, there is no need to go. But he said, okay, enough of you. And I'm going to my mother's place and don't think that I'm coming back, right? And she goes to her mother's place and she's not at home for 1 week. And this guy is always remembering how nice she was, how cooperative she was, how supportive she was, how clean was the house when she was there. So all positive things. And he said, okay, if she comes back, I'm not going to fight with her. Eventually, after 1 week, she returns, right? And she tells that, look, mother told me, no, you should go back. And he says, yeah, I realized that you were so nice, you were so supportive, right? And within half an hour, again, they had a big fight, right? So it's all about human nature, right? No OB book can teach you that. You need to go to, you need to go to literature, right? And another thing which we can do as a part of OB assessment, can we ask students to write a small story which happened in their own life and related to organizational behavior? For example, we talk about fundamental attribution error, right? So have you done any fundamental attribution error in your life? Can you write a story about it? And if a student is able to write a story around it, he can never forget, right? Or we can also ask them to find a story to illustrate a principle of organizational behavior, right? For example, team building. So we were talking about do bailon ki jodi, right? And there is this story by Premchand, do bailon ki jodi, and the kind of teamwork which Hira and Moti have displayed, it is unparalleled, right? So if a student can find that story, right? And coming to literature, even a film like Lagan or a film like Chak De India, they can be very, very useful. So when we are talking about liberal arts, we are talking about culture, we are talking about literature, right? We are talking about novels. So how to use them? And you can use the English literature, you can use Hindi literature, you can use Bengali literature, you can use Odia literature, but let people talk about it. Let people understand that there are so many ways to teach organizational behavior, and there are so many ways to understand the organizational behavior, right? Now I have 5 minutes, and over there I'd like to touch another aspect. That is, besides stories, tales, and novels, one can also use poetry, right? So when we talk about change management, nobody, has explained change management better than Dushyant Kumar, right? So some of you may know Dushyant Kumar, many of you may not know, but then he has written an immortal ghazal known as "Ho gayi hai peer parvat si pighalni chahiye." So in English we talk about pain points, right? So and when there are pain points, then there is need for change, right? So Dushyant Kumar writes, "Ho gayi hai peer कोई छोटा मोटा पिन पॉइंट नहीं है, इट इज इक्वलेंट टू माउंटेन, राइट? सो हो गई है पीर पर्वत सी पिघलनी चाहिए, एंड देन ही आल्सो गिव्स एन आंसर. द आंसर इज कि अगर पीर पर्वत सी हो गई है तब क्या होना चाहिए भाई? देयर शुड बी सम चेंज, और इस हिमालय से कोई गंगा निकलनी चाहिए. So this pain should not go without any cause, you know. It should give a lesson. So students should understand that pain is good, because if there is pain, there would be gain, and there is no gain without pain. And this is what we teach in organizational behavior. And the same thing is taught by Dushyant Kumar, that हो गई है पीर पर्वत सी पिघलनी चाहिए, इस हिमालय से कोई गंगा निकलनी चाहिए, सिर्फ हंगामा खड़ा करना मेरा मकसद नहीं. क्योंकि whenever there is change management, there are some people, you know, जो हंगामा ही खड़ा क्रिएट करते हैं और उसके बाद वहां से खसक जाते हैं पतली गली से, है? So that's what he says, सिर्फ हंगामा खड़ा करना मेरा मकसद नहीं, अब तो ये सूरते हाल बदलनी चाहिए, right? So when change is imperative, it should be change. And the last, couplet is very powerful. मेरे दिल में ना सही तो तेरे दिल में ही सही, है ना? So it is important that everything should not be with the change agent. Those people who are being affected by the change, उनके दिल में भी कुछ फायर हो ना. So मेरे दिल में ना सही तो तेरे दिल में ही सही, हो कहीं भी आग पर अब ये आग जलनी चाहिए. So poetry can be very, very useful, and we should not be, afraid of sharing poetry with the students. We should not be shameful कि थोड़ा हिंदी में बोलेंगे तो क्या हो जाएगा, because एक ये भी MBA में एक प्रॉब्लम आती है कि भाई सब अंग्रेजी में बोलिए, and therefore I am also speaking in English so that you are convinced that I know English, right? But all of us use mixed language. So, somewhere if there is need for using, other language. For example, I always use this phrase of Bangla, Manush, Manush june, Jeevan Jeevan june, Manush Manush ke liye, Jeevan Jeevan ke liye. तो अगर वो साहित्य उस चीज को कहता है, then we should be able to use it, right? And then, I also use couplets from other Urdu poets. For example, Firak Gorakhpuri said that माना कि जिंदगी है 4 दिन की, माना कि जिंदगी है 4 दिन की, लेकिन बहुत होते हैं 4 दिन भी, right? So life is short, but if you want to make some change, we can do the change, right? And similarly, Nida Fazli, when he explains the meaning of life, right? तो दुनिया जिसे कहते हैं जादू का खिलौना है. And this is what happens with MBA students. I tell them कि जब तक आपको उस कंपनी में जॉब नहीं मिलता है तो आप कहते हो यार मुझे तो उस कंपनी में जॉब मिलना ही चाहिए, राइट? लेकिन उस कंपनी में जॉब मिल जाता है, इमीडिएटली यू थिंक कि अब मैं इससे बढ़िया कंपनी में कैसे जाऊं, राइट? एंड दैट्स वेयर आई आल्सो टॉक अबाउट ययाति, विष्णु खांडेकर, राइट? सो आई टेल माय स्टूडेंट्स कि भाई ययाति को पढ़ो, ये सबकी जिजीविषा है. जो मिल जाता है वो इम्पोर्टेंट नहीं है, और जो नहीं मिलता है यू आर हैंकरिंग फॉर दैट, है? तो दुनिया जिसे कहते हैं जादू का खिलौना है, और मिल जाए तो मिट्टी है, ना मिले तो सोना है, राइट? So that's what I tell my students. बरसात का बादल तो आवारा है, क्या जाने किस छत को भिगोना है, कि नहीं किस छत को छोड़ना है, किस घर को भिगोना है, right? And then philosophically कि गम और खुशी दोनों पल दो पल के साथी हैं, गम और खुशी दोनों पल दो पल के साथी हैं, उसके बाद सिर्फ रास्ता ही रास्ता है, ना हंसना है ना रोना है. तो भाई you develop a perspective.
But I'm really sorry to kind of, I'm not welcome, I know, and I mean because of the paucity of time.
Yes.
Really sorry to kindly interrupt. And people, I can see smiling faces all around now with your session. Being the afternoon session, it is really very heartwarming to see everybody smiling and more relaxed. So there are a couple of questions. If you, with your
Yes.
permission, can I take
Please,
them up?
please. Yeah, that's what I planned.
Thank you. So the first question is from Satya. He says that he wants to know how can one contextualize Dr. Faustus by Christopher Marlowe to teach responsible business or business ethics to upcoming techno-commercial manager, or another option could be the Anushasanic Parv from Mahabharata on corporate governance and compliance. How could one contextualize?
ये जो Western story है ना, see, I have got my goal and I have sold my soul, right? So we management students need to understand that look, what is the relationship between goal and soul, right? So we also need to realize that how we create our own problems, and it comes from Shiva, right? So he gave, he gave a boon to the Rakshasa that look, whomsoever you will touch, you would burnt out, right? So there are so many ways to conceptualize, and you feel, comfortable with playing with the story, right? And you just bring a modern concept. For example, many of us know Macbeth, right? And then there are three witches in Macbeth. And then how it has been contextualized in Maqbool, right? So instead of three witches, there is Pandit, right, who is playing the role of witches, right? So if you read Macbeth and then you watch Maqbool, you will find that it has been contextualized, right? So that is your creative talent. Yes.
So the next question is from Somna sir. He asks, can good case studies be some kind of substitute for stories?
Oh, of course, see, many of the good case studies are stories. For example, a Harvard case known as Tiber Company, is a great case on change management. And earlier it was known as Dashman Company, right? But it is not a real case. It is just a story, right? So you can convert, stories into case and cases into stories. Very much possible.
So the next question is from Meena ma'am. She wants to know, could you please highlight how to incorporate literature that can be used for accounting and finance courses?
Okay.
टेढ़ा सवाल है.
टेढ़ा सवाल है. But for example, when we are teaching ethics and accounting, we can definitely incorporate literature, right? For example, I'm reminded of an incident that Mahamana Madan Mohan Malviya, he went to a Seth, right? And so he was working. He was, working on his Bahi Khatas, right? And there were two lamps. So he told his boy कि बहुत ज़्यादा जो है बिजली खर्च हो रही है, मिट्टी का तेल खर्च हो रहा है, एक बुझा दो, right? And then he was working with one lamp, and Mahamana Madan Mohan Malviya was concerned that this guy is not going to give any contribution. But when he explained his purpose, he got good donation. So he could not stop himself, right? That look, he asked a question that look, I thought that you are too miser. You were not going to give me anything. And he said that look, I need to generate money, but I also need to save money. So some of these things can be part of accounting, but one has to go deeper. One has to go deeper. Yes. Yes, it was the incidents with late G.D. Birla only. So, I may be confused. Maybe I have conceptualized. Yeah, but These are the stories. These are the stories. And they make sense. Yes. Any other question, query, comment? मैं एक बार आप लोगों से ये कहूंगा, ये सब करने के लिए आपको पढ़ना पड़ेगा, है ना. आप ये सोचें कि ये आराम से कहीं मिल जाएगा, और पढ़ के जो है थोड़ा आपको सोचना पड़ेगा, हाउ कैन आई यूज इट, राइट. सो आपको जो है हिंदी लिटरेचर में प्रेमचंद को पढ़ना पड़ेगा, यज्ञों को पढ़ना पड़ेगा, शिवानी को पढ़ना पड़ेगा, निर्मल वर्मा को पढ़ना पड़ेगा, और फिर उसमें से देखना पड़ेगा कि भाई कौन सी स्टोरी जो है मेरे काम की हो सकती है. Similarly, you have to read English literature, and if you read something, maybe you will find one thing which may be of useful to you, right? So don't think that a case study is more difficult and it is easy. It is equally difficult, but the point that I want to make, how we can make learning a source of joy, right? So when we use literature, learning becomes a source of joy.
So thank you so much, Dr. Anup Singh, and we also welcome Dr. Ranjan Banerjee, who is there with us, and we are happy to have him in this session too at the end of the session. And so indeed, as Roma Tern, an artist and writer, says, some say art is our highest form of hope. Perhaps it is our only hope. So thank you so much, Dr. Anup Singh, for this insightful session. And there are a lot of learnings. In fact, it was almost like a beckoning call to most of us, because I could see that a lot of people were getting more and more tuned in, if I would say that. And so especially the management being a practice, using storytelling to impart knowledge. Example of Panchatantra, and as personally as how a child, I could not figure out from where one story started and the other ended, because it was interwoven. So I would always try to see where it is beginning, but that is how Panchatantra was. And then Singhasan Batti reminded of the early years, and it also took me to remember the movie Bawarchi, where again that old man had a box and everybody was eyeing that box. So knowledge being wisdom, and only when it is relatable, using illustrations to explain contradictions, face behind the mask, managing half-truths. I mean, there is so much to learn, and there is so much of loosening up that we all had. Thank you so much for this productive session. A very, very welcome session to all of us, I would say. And thanks a lot, sir. Thank you so much. Thank you.